Attaching to someone in the beginning of a relationship takes a lot longer if you're dealing with somebody who's been abused in any way. And the unfortunate truth is that sexual abuse is really common, unfortunately. The really unfortunate truth about that is that it makes it harder for them to attach to somebody who's really good for them. And all too often, it's much easier for someone dealing with, survival, right? They call it survivors because they've got to deal with it for their entire life. Especially someone who's had that kind of trauma as a child, because it's an adult situation that you don't have an adult brain to deal with. Your brain doesn't finish developing until you're 25. If there's been some sort of trauma or abuse as a young child, then they're still trying to come to terms with how that affects them and how it translates into their adult relationships. If you're falling in love with somebody who's shared with you that that's part of their past, I'm asking you to be a little bit more patient with them. I know, especially with men, it's like your egos get involved, and if you're falling in love with somebody and they're taking a little bit longer to fall in love with you, try to be patient and try to understand that it's got nothing to do with you. It's really not. Take your ego out of it. It is not personal. It's really about them and their demons. If they're sticking in with you and you're really good to them, it's because they recognize that it's a good relationship and they want to get to be in that same loving space with you. It just takes longer. It just does. If you're dating someone that is kind of not where you want them to be emotionally with you, but it's a good relationship and you're feeling happy when you're with them and you're just kind of wanting them to connect with you a little bit more, talk to them about it. Really share what you're feeling, because you need to get your needs met. Those hard conversations are hard to have, but they can really help increase your relationship and the emotional intimacy. Trust me, if your partner's got some sort of abuse in his or her background, then they need to feel really safe emotionally before they really can fall in love. I'm just asking you to be a little bit patient and recognize that and take your ego out of it. It's not about you. It's really not. It's about them trying to deal with their past. And it's not that easy, right? And it never goes away. Be as compassionate and understanding as you can, and still ask for the things that you want. But, having an open conversation about it can allow your partner to share what he or her, needs and feels. And I know it's a little bit more work, but unfortunately, everybody needs love and everybody needs a relationship. You can really have a much deeper and more fulfilling relationship if it takes a little bit longer to grow. True love doesn't begin until that I can't get enough of you phase ends. Just asking you to be a little patient. Do some research about it and recognize that it's not you, right? So be loving, be supportive, get your needs met, talk about your feelings, but also just recognize that it just might take a little bit more time than you'd like. But it is worth waiting for. I'm Donna Barnes. I hope I was able to help you. If I did, I hope you'll click one of the links down here and either like or share, or click the PayPal link to show me some support so that I can keep making videos for you. No pressure, not necessary. Or if you need personal coaching, click the link up here and sign up for private coaching with me.